You way sweeter than I am. You got all the stuff, you got it all. But you will not outwork me because your height has nothing to do with my work ethic.
You can outwork anybody, no matter how badass they are. But that's the part people don't want to dive into.
You know, I've never seen myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is I'm willing to die in the process of acquiring skill.
Want to be happy? Build a life, not just a business. What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. I believe in you, and this channel is designed to be a part of your daily success routine. So today, let's live your best belief life and get you motivated to improve your work ethic. Also, if you want to know what Eric Thomas, David Goggins, Kobe Bryant, and others have to say about building confidence and excellence, check out my 254 series, where every day for the next 254 days, I will send you a morning video for free to help you build your confidence. The links to join are in the description below.
You gotta make a sacrifice. If you're gonna get to the next level, you're gonna have to give up something, right?
If you wake up in the morning and you're dreading going to work, dude, do something else. Right. Do something else. And those are hard decisions to make, but when you make those decisions, it's a very liberating experience.
Everything I didn't want to do is what got me to where I'm at today.
You will not outwork me. It's not about being the best motivational speaker in the world. It's about being the most consistent motivational speaker in the world. And so when you watch me, even if you don't like me and you're into motivation, you gotta fool with me. Why? Because I'm on everything. E.T., was that you on the Dick's commercial? Yep, it was.
How do you do this day after day? Dedicating your life to the search for a few more feet.
E.T., you doing stuff with the Olympics? Absolutely. E.T., was that you on it? Yep, that was me. E.T., did you do that? Yep, you saw me. Was you doing something for Cleveland on the drummer script? Yep, that was me. You will not outwork me. High school dropout. Yes, your vocabulary count is deeper than mine. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, you look better than me. Suit, asymmetric look. Yep, you got me beat all day. You got me. Grew up on the other side of town, 2 parents, great network. I'm not gonna lie, you way sweeter than I am. You got all the stuff, you got it all. But you will not outwork me because your height has nothing to do with my work ethic. Your face has nothing to do with my work ethic. Your 2-parent background has nothing to do with my work ethic. You will not outwork me. On your jet, you will not outwork me. In your Bentley, you will not outwork me. And there are those of you in this room, the reason why this stuff ain't happening for you, because you're getting outworked. Come on, call the best motivational speakers in the world. Give us 7 days. Let us go all over the world and speak. Come on. And while you in the green room putting on your makeup, you will not outwork me. I'm being real. You will not outwork me. While you doing photo shoots, you won't outwork it. Y'all being outworked in your marriage. You're being outworked in your job. You're being outworked with your kids. Your kids in a gang. Why? Because somebody loving on them more than you loving on them. They in a gang because you ain't hardly at home. You're being outworked. You got somebody else in the hood who got more. They got your kid ear more than you got them. And you like, I just can't believe this society today. It's not the society, you got outworked. Some dude up the block is spending more time with your son than you are. Some guy on the block is telling your daughter how cute she is and you not. Because you grinding, you working. But you thought when I told you 120, I just meant at work. I mean everywhere. You will not outwork me. You might make money, but your marriage might not be. I'm gonna get you on all fronts.
Where I got my work ethic from was the hours I had to spend learning this. When you sit down and you're not smart, and you have a disability, and you still want to be in the top of your class, I didn't want to just get by. When I realized that I can learn through hard work, and I can beat the valedictorian in school, but I got put in 10 hours more a day than he does. You know what kind of strength comes from that? When you're sitting down, that guy that valedictorian studied for an hour, and you know I caught you, and I am dumb, but I have the work ethic to catch you. That's where David Goggins got really invented. Was at a kitchen table with 20 spiral notebooks that were empty, and then 3 months later, they were full. And when you can go through that, I still have them in my storage unit. You go through these spiral notebooks of your life, and you realize this is how I learned. This is unbelievable. There's no miles. It's not about the miles. It's that having a discipline every day to say, for me to learn this one math problem, it's gonna take me 10 hours.
Wow.
And that's where and you realize through hard work, you can outwork anybody, no matter how badass they are. But that's the part people don't want to dive into.
I've been with you for a long way. The one moment that stands out of, we've done, I don't know how many done, we've done what, 800 events. The one time was 4 a.m. We went out to practice at 4 a.m. And that was your idea to do it.
But,
and then, all these Nike people are like, no, let's not do that. And then you're like, let's do it at 4 a.m. So you got security, you got brand marketing, sports marketing going, no, let's not do it. You're like, let's do it. Because that's your sustenance, right?
I mean, to me, it just makes complete sense.
Not to us.
But I don't, like, okay, so.
See, all right. Usually, I'm sleeping at 4 a.m. You're working out. So talk about that.
Okay, so if your job is to try to be the best basketball player you can be, right? To do that, you have to practice, you have to train, right? You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can. So if you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 11, right? 12, say 12, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2. You have to let your body recover. So you eat, recover, whatever. You get back out, you train, start training again at 6. Train from 6 to 8, right? And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are 2 sessions, right? Now imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4. You go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11, right? You relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4, right? And so now you do that, and as the years go on, the separation that you have with your competitors and your peers just grows larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they do in the summer, they're never going to catch up because they're 5 years behind. Right? So it makes sense to get up and start your day early because you can get more work in.
Is that genetic? Or is that something you ingrained and trained yourself?
No, it was
Who
just,
taught you that?
For me, it was just common sense. Like I can if I start earlier, I can train more hours, and I know the other guys aren't doing it because I know what their training schedule is, right? So I know if I do this consistently over time, the gap's just going to widen and widen and widen and widen and widen, and they won't be able to get that back. So to me, it was just common sense and like thinking, how can I get an advantage? Oh, start earlier. Yeah, let's do that.
When did you start doing that?
Man, like high school. My first class in high school was 7:45. I used to get to the gym around 5 a.m. and I'd play before school. And then school would start.
Who's playing with you at 5 a.m.?
My coach. So my coach would show up and we'd do all these basketball drills. Right?
So just you and your coach?
Just me and my coach. And sometimes it would just be me and the janitor, and who's still there today. And then I'd play at lunchtime.
That guy should get a medal.
I hooked him up with a few things. But I played during lunch and then practice after, and then go home, do my schoolwork, and then watch a bunch of game film and games on TV and study film.
How do you develop that, or where do you learn that from?
Well, I think it's just it's just a matter of what's important to you, and what's important to you for whatever reason. I felt like I didn't feel good about myself if I wasn't doing everything I could to be the best version of myself. If I felt like I left anything on the table, it would eat away at me. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror. Right? So the reason why I can retire now and be completely comfortable about it because I know that I've done everything I could to be the best basketball player I could be. And so that's where it comes from for me. You can't leave any stone unturned.
How much time do you spend on marketing? You said those 4 things. How much time do you actually spend on it? In a day? 0 sometimes, I assume?
Yeah, sometimes.
In a week, how much do you spend on it?
2 hours.
2 hours, great. Now is the most important part of this meeting. How many hours do you sleep at night?
I have to have 7.
Great. So I love the way you said it. I have to have 7. So if I wanted to say go to 6 so that you pick up 5, you're gonna say to me, Gary, I have to have 7, right? Now let's go somewhere else. I have to know what you're doing the other 17 hours. I would bet the house that we can find an hour every day. I guarantee it. Because you might be working all 17 hours, but you might not be working on something smarter than spending an hour a day on the thing that you're talking about. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's the answer. The answer is time. You know, people talk about working hard and working smart. The answer is only both. You have to work hard and smart based on your ambition. If you want to build a business for yourself, that is like a 1% life. Most people don't understand what building a business for yourself is. It's very special. It's very special. Trying to build a business for yourself, everybody's doing now. Pulling it off, trying to play basketball, everybody can try. Being an NBA player, trying to be a rapper or a singer, everybody's doing. Pulling it off, trying to be a footballer, an actress. Got it? So you're trying, great. Pulling it off is hard. It takes everything. Time and smarts. You need 7. I'm glad you said it that way, because this makes this piece of content more valuable. It's the 17 other hours. I'll give you an example. A lot of people drive to work for 45 minutes. If they took a bus for an hour and 15 minutes, they would save money and get more work done. But do you have the humility to take the bus versus driving your car?
You told the famous story about how you kind of backed into acting Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you start making these movies. And I forget that Bad Boys actually came before Independence Day, right?
Yeah,
and then
Bad Boys.
Independence Day just was like one of the biggest of all time. Like, what was that transition like for you to be like a real actor and like the biggest actor in the game?
Nah, it was that was like the first real goal, like that in terms of setting goals. I was like, I want to be the biggest movie star in the world. Right, and up until that point, everything was like, it was fun and it was happening and we were creating in Jeff's mom's basement and it was successful. But that was like, when I moved into acting, that was the first time I started applying skill to my talents, right? And you know, I look at skill and talent separately. Like, Pete, you're born with talent. You know, it's like there's certain things that you just do naturally. You were gifted with a talent and you have it. But skill is acquired through discipline, and you know, I've never seen myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is I'm willing to die in the process of acquiring skill. Like, it's, you know, when I put my obsessive mind on something, I'm just dying. Yeah, right, exactly. It's
You're
like,
not gonna outwork you. You also said ridiculous and sickening work ethic.
Sickening work ethic, exactly. It's like, you know, so for me, to be a movie star was the first thing that I ever really wanted like that and set my
You was like
my sights
Schwarzenegger,
on
Stallone, Bruce Willis.
all of them. I was like, you know, because when I looked, I always felt like there weren't a lot of people I saw do things that I felt like I couldn't do. Right? When I look at people and I see things, I don't feel like I can't. Whether or not I will is something different, but I don't ever feel like I can't.
Now I've got a really special bonus clip with Dan Pena on how to work hard that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Time to move from just watching another video to taking action in your life or business. And if you're feeling bold, leave your answers in the comments below. Here we go. Question number 1, where do you need to improve your work ethic? Number 2, why is this so important to you? And number 3, who can help hold you accountable so you follow through?
My dad was a workaholic. He was a cop, but he was a workaholic. When he retired from the LAPD after 28 years, he had 700 plus days they wrote him a check for, and he never took a day off. 728 years. He never took a day off. He was always at work. So I saw that. And I saw, you know, and although then he went with the CIA and he became a college professor, but I saw him work hard. And and I aspired to follow my dad in my dad's footsteps as far as that was concerned. I turned 16, which is when you can get a permit to work legally, and I got a job as a box boy, which they don't have anymore, where you put groceries in the ladies' bags and you help them out to the car. the first month that I worked was August 1961, when I turned 16. So my birthday's the 10th, so I worked 21 days. My paycheck for that, because I just happened to look it up, was $241. So I worked about 240 hours in 20 days. You got a headache, you don't want to work, I'll take your shift. You want to go to the beach, I'll take your shift, okay? So my first first 20 days I worked, I was averaging 10, 12 hours a day when I'm 16 years old. I realized, as Elon Musk recently said, if you work 80 hours a week and another guy works only 40 hours a week, unless something's wrong with you, you're going to get twice as much done. I discovered that.
If you want to learn how to develop an insane work ethic, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Hard work. Working a little bit harder.
Work ethic.
Very hard working.
Go hard.
Work ethic.
Work ethic.